Hi, I'm Bob Vila. Welcome home again. It's another chilly day here on Cape Cod, and we'll be working indoors mostly today. Our drywall contractors are here. We'll be giving you a couple of tips on how to hang the drywall and tape those joints. Also, we'll be getting together with Amy O'Hare, our kitchen designer, who's going to help us figure out the layout for our kitchen and take us on a tour of a small showroom where they have lots of different cabinet styles. And we'll give you a peek at how we installed our septic system. Lots to show you, so stay with me. It's nice to have you home again.
Sears presents Home Again with Bob Vila.
Looks good in here. We've got a lot of work accomplished. Insulation's all been finished, and we have our VisQueen moisture barrier in place. And let me show you something that a lot of builders do. When you have a forced hot air system and you have your cutouts for the air registers in the plywood deck, in order to keep all this debris from falling into the ductwork, take some leftover insulation and just stuff it in there. Of course, you got to remember to take it back out when the job's almost done. Over here, we have an unusual situation. We've got a staircase on the other side of the wall, so we've only insulated the bottom half, which separates us from the cold basement space. Top half is part of the warm room. The ceiling drywall is all in place, but we held off on the walls in here because it occurred to me it'd be nice to have vertical pine paneling on a couple of the walls, like we saw in that antique cape when we started this project. And that's the reason Riley has put in these 2x4s horizontally, so that we'll have some nice nailer on which to attach all that vertical pine siding. Right now, let's get together with Claude, our drywall contractor. Claude Daigle is our drywall contractor. He's got most of the place done. How are things back here in the L, Claude?
In the L, we found out it was out of square.
It's a little bit out of square, yeah. Well, it's the old part of the house. It's an old building that's moved 20 miles down the road, so it's bound to have a few crooked lines. What are you doing up here with the chalk line?
Okay, we've snapped the line, and it's in order to keep this line straight. We want a nice straight edge when we're done with it.
So you're cutting that excess out?
Right. I'm doing it by scoring it with my drywall knife, and then I will use the router.
Just a lightweight router?
Yep, that's it. It's got just a drill bit on it and a regular router.
So you use that to cut rather than a knife?
Right, because this will cut straight through.
One pass.
Right.
I see. And then once you've cut it out, you can butt the other sheets on the sloped part right up to it and get a nice even line.
Right.
Good. We'll watch you do it.
All right.
So what's next, Claude?
Okay, these are 1¼ inch drywall screws.
Yeah.
And
the bit is magnetized so that
right.
they stay right on there.
Right, so I don't have to hold it while it's going in.
Okay. So
and I'm going to drive my edge off next.
okay. What have you got?
I get 51 inches, Bob.
That's too bad. We can't use a 48-inch regular bore doing the long way then,
That's right.
Now, I just noticed you measured only to here, to the edge of the strap.
Yeah.
And that's so that when you bring your sheet down on the slope, it comes there, and your other sheet comes behind it, and you end up with a tight joint like that. If you did it the other way on a sloped ceiling, you end up with that kind of a situation, which is harder to finish off with tape and joint compound.
That's right.
Good. Okay. So 51 it is. You ready to cut?
That's it.
Scored on one side and then just torn back. Cut on the other side, and off it comes. Now you can do it when you've got your wallboard on the ground, but once you put it up, you have to use an electric tool. Do you always have to trim it like that with that little hand?
It gives it a better finish stage.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to.
Need a hand?
Yep. You can. Okay. Now I'll screw it off.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is to finish off the rest of my ceiling.
Sure, 4 more pieces. Okay. We're using 4 by 12 sheets of gypsum drywall, but here we've cut this one short so that it lines up underneath the window. That way he'll have just a 3-foot joint here instead of going all the way over and having to tape up a 4-foot joint. And what are you doing? Ready to...
Now I'm going to mark my electrical box using a keyhole saw, and I just eyeball it into the...
Now you know where it's located.
Right.
East-west. Now you're ready to move this up north-south. That's a jack. And when you jack it up, you get a nice tight fit up at the top here. Good. And you just tack it in place. 1 or 2 nails will hold it up there, and then you can drive all the screws. Now, what's the main reason why we started off with a cut piece here and a full piece on the bottom?
The reason is I get a nice tight edge here, and I'm not fitting the piece between 2 pieces.
Yeah, well, you've got nice factory edges here, too.
Right.
So that what's most visible is going to be easy to take.
Right.
All right, Claude, why don't you fly through here and get it all hung, and then we'll talk about putting the tape on. Okay, Claude, this is the fun part, right?
That's it.
Taping up the joints. What's the first thing you do?
Take my 4-inch knife and just put some on the joint.
Not too heavy. So you've put in a bed of joint compound right where those 2 factory edges meet, which have provided you already with kind of an indented area. And then you're ready to put the tape on?
Yep.
Just use your knife to cut it. And then, do you just let it dry for a while, or do you put more on?
I take my 6-inch knife and I just put a little bit of mud. The reason for that is it slides easier on the tape.
Okay, but not too much.
Right.
Good. Okay, we're going to take a break for some messages. When we come back, we'll show you a closer to finished look. Stay with us. We're in one of the bedrooms now, and here the joint compound has already had a chance to dry overnight. So, Claude, you're ready for a second coat, right?
Yes, I'm going to apply it with a 10-inch curved trowel, and...
that will allow for the buildup to occur right between those factory edges.
That's right.
Good.
Then I take my 6-inch knife and just wipe the edges off, so there's no edges for the sander.
And presto. After that second coat has dried, we're ready to apply a third coat.
That's right.
And this time you're using a bigger trowel, right?
It's a 12-inch trowel, curved, and basically the same method as the second coat.
But you're trying to leave no excess, right?
That's right. By using my 6-inch knife, again, I feathered the edges out.
And then a final pass with the 12-inch knife.
Yep.
And that way there won't be that much sanding to do, right?
Right.
Thanks a lot, Claude. It's looking beautiful. I'll get out of your way. Right now, let's meet with Amy O'Hare, our kitchen designer. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Bob.
Have you got a good kitchen design for us?
I think so.
It's a challenge. The space is only about 9 by 8 feet.
It may be small, but I've got some great ideas.
Let's take a look on paper, huh?
Okay. Well, basically, it's just a U-shaped kitchen with your
Right.
sink, range, and refrigerator in a nice, tight working triangle.
Good. Yeah, that's the best thing you can do in here, right?
It is.
Walk me through it.
Sure. Okay. Well, we'll have our sink here, obviously, where the pipes are coming through the floor.
Right.
And we'll have our dishwasher immediately to the right.
Okay.
Now, where this is a peninsula, we'll have a nice 15-inch overhang here, which is a nice idea.
The counter will...
We'll extend back behind the sink, so we'll have a place for 2 stools for someone to eat breakfast.
Open to the family
room.
I
And
love
it's open to
it.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Coming around this way, we'll have some storage here. We'll have your standard 30-inch range here.
Yeah.
Offset to the left so that we have enough room here for a bank of 4 drawers.
Great.
Which is a really convenient place, you know,
Near
easy
the
access to the
dishwasher, sure.
dishwasher and
Sure,
also easy access to the range.
Uh-huh.
We'll have some basic wall cabinet storage up above.
Okay, yeah,
Okay, on this side, we'll have a nice expansive counter space with storage below.
okay.
Good place for food preparation, and we'll also have some basic wall cabinets up above for
All the way to the ceiling?
all the way to the ceiling for storage,
Great.
food, dishes, glassware, and so on.
That's great, yeah,
Which leaves us our refrigerator.
indeed.
Okay. I would recommend using a side-by-side refrigerator in
Why?
this location. Well, because unfortunately, we have the dishwasher immediately opposite. And you
Right.
know, when the door is down,
One opens
you're
there.
that's
the
right.
other one
And this
opens
door,
there.
exactly, and
Yeah.
it's going to conflict. But the side-by-side's door is smaller, so
Sure.
it won't take up quite as
They
much.
won't bang into each other.
Exactly.
What about on this wall that we've got over here? There's nothing planned here?
No, I have some plans for here. Unfortunately, it's not deep enough to use standard base cabinet storage.
Okay.
So an idea that I had to maximize the storage space is to use plain wall cabinets, similar to what we're using here.
The 12-inch deep
The 12-inch deep wall cabinets, but what we're going to do is mount them down low
That's a
and
great
use them
idea.
as base cabinets.
Yeah, it's a great
So they're
idea.
only 12 inches deep. We don't have a space problem here, and we'll put a little countertop on the top.
Phone on top, the bulletin board
Phone,
behind
exactly.
it. I love it. Great.
Perfect place for
Could we
storage.
actually go see some cabinets?
Absolutely. Showroom's the best place to see them. This is the type of eating bar overhang that I'm talking about for our kitchen.
It's a real practical idea, and I think we ought to do it. But in terms of cabinets, these look pretty upscale.
They are. These are really expensive cabinets. They're
They're nice.
top of the line.
Yeah. What else should we look at?
Well, if you want to talk about expensive, you should price out some of the solid granite countertops.
It's beautiful, and it's forever, but it's not for us.
No.
What about a laminated kitchen?
Well, this is a really nice contemporary European style cabinet. It's a laminate door, and it has a nice ash trim on it. And this is what we call a frameless cabinet.
A frameless cabinet?
Yes. We call it that because when the doors are closed, you can't see the frame of the cabinet.
Oh, I
All
get
you
you.
see is the door itself.
Yeah. Well, it's very nice. I love the clean contemporary lines, but I don't think it would be right in a cape.
No, and I think this is what we need to look at right here.
Yeah.
This is a little more traditional, yet very nice and clean looking, and this is a framed cabinet as opposed to what we saw before.
You see that frame.
Right.
Now, this
You
is
can see, this is oak.
solid oak.
This is an oak face frame, and the rest of the cabinet is oak veneer.
Veneers, okay. And in the bottom unit, we've got a bank of drawers like you're just talking about for us. Yeah.
Exactly like what we're putting next to the stove.
Nice hardware.
It is. It's a good value for the money. It's a very nice hardware system.
What about pulls? There's no drawer pulls or door pulls?
Well, these cabinets are made so that you don't really need to use any. There's a little finger grip area there so that you can just grab the door and pull it open.
Yeah.
But I think for what we're doing, it would be nice to add a little bit of
yeah.
hardware to sort of dress it up and carry through that country theme.
It gives it a nice country look.
It does.
And would you use a countertop like this?
Well, I think we'd use a laminate countertop like this with a 4-inch backsplash as we have here. And as far as color goes, I think we should wait and see what we're going to pick out for the flooring, which is going to run through the kitchen and all the way into the family room,
Good.
and try to pull everything together with that.
Okay, I think you've done a beautiful job. Can you also work up a price for us, though?
Absolutely.
Good, thanks a lot. Right now, we're going to get together with Riley in a minute, but first let's break for some messages. So what are you doing there, Riley?
Well, I'm completing the fire stopping, Bob. Code requires that we have complete fire stoppage.
Every
between-
single little hole, including pipe holes, right?
Anywhere that we can get a draft.
And this is just the kind of insulation you're using, right?
Yeah. and
Yeah.
it's
Well,
expand-
this will prevent, it should there ever be a fire in the basement, it would prevent any flames from being able to come into the second floor or the third floor through the wall cavities.
Exactly.
That's great. Well, but right now, we're going to look at another part of the story here. You know, we're in a suburban location where we have no sewers on the street. So consequently, we've got septic tanks. And all it is really is a big concrete holding tank where all the waste from the house is held, breaks down, and then goes off into a leaching pit. And of course, right out of the leaching pit into this wonderful sandy soil. We installed it just about a week ago. Let's take a look. Okay, John, how close to the house does it go?
Well, the tank is going to be 10 feet from that foundation and
Yeah.
10 feet from that one. And it will be, elongated
Yeah,
facing this way.
yeah,
Then the distribution box will be approximately right there underneath the machine.
right.
And then the leach pit goes 20 feet from that corner of that building there
Okay,
at a diagonal and sets right
all right.
in there.
So he can start digging, right?
I hope so.
I'm going to get out of his way.
All right. going to put this pipe in here.
Just to check if the hole is deep enough, right?
Right. In other words, what I generally try to do is I set it.
That is the pipe where the...
this is the sewer pipe coming out of the house.
The waste pipe coming out of the house, right?
Then I set this pipe right in here into the trench so that I can establish my level for, see the level, it's on level now?
Yeah.
And I've got this pipe set 2 inches lower than that, or 2.5 inches lower than that, which gives me the 1/4 inch per foot.
That means that when you raise it up at that end to connect to the house, it'll actually be at an incline.
Right.
And if you've got a 2-inch difference over 8 feet, that would be a 1/4 inch per foot.
Right, right. So then from this pipe here, then what I can do is, once I got this establishes, I go 54.5 inches from this pipe right here.
From
with
the bottom of it.
From the bottom of it to the bottom of the excavation.
Yeah.
See, where I got to go another 6 inches more.
All right.
In order to get to the bottom grade.
Well, you don't want to shovel dig it. Get the machine
No,
going
right,
again,
so
right?
we better get JC to dig.
Go, JC.
Yeah. JC, break it a little wider on the side. Let's roll it. Let's get the tank in here.
What do you suppose that thing weighs?
Weighs about 5 ton.
10,000 pounds of concrete?
Yeah, 10,000 pounds. This here is the outlet hole, and then the front is the inlet hole. This
So
one here
the inlet hole is the one that's receiving the pipe out of the house.
Right. And then there's about 2.5 inches of difference, 3 inches of difference from the inlet and the outlet. So it'll flow, the liquid flows out. All right, go out a little bit. About that way, an inch. Okay,
Really?
Roger, check it for level.
This will hold, what, 1,000 gallons?
1,500 gallons.
1,500 gallons.
Yeah.
So what's he doing?
He's checking for the level of the levelness of the tank to make sure that the tank is level.
That's clever. He's just putting his little 2-foot level on the inside of the tank.
Right.
It's okay?
Yeah.
So what's next?
Right. The next thing we do is we unhook the cables and we backfill this and we dig the leach pit.
Okay, so we backfill this one before we dig the next hole.
Right.
So now we're ready to connect the waste pipe from the house into the tank.
Right. There's a wire that they have to break to get the pipe to fit into the hole.
Yeah, I see it. Well, all the concrete sidewalls of the tank are reinforced with wire mesh.
Right.
That looks good.
And we put a piece of pipe in there and find out if it fits in the hole.
Yeah.
Then I have to chip a little bit on this edge right here. I try to put a minimum amount of bends into a pipe to get a straight shot into the septic tank.
I'm surprised the top of the tank is so close to the surface.
Well, it has to be within 12 inches of the finished grade.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I guess so you can get back in and pump it out if you ever have to. What's next? Another hole?
Yeah, we have to put in the leach pit now.
Good. Why do you need so much crushed stone in here?
For the liquid to go disperse into the sand, and so that the sand can't backfill into the leach pit.
Okay. And how does the whole thing work then, John?
Well, the solids and the liquids, they come into the septic tank.
Yeah.
And then only the liquids come out of the septic tank and go into the leach pit.
And once the liquids get here,
they disperse.
They disperse.
Right.
Great. It's a big job, and you guys have done it in just about 2 hours.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Stay with me. We'll be right back after this message. All right, you did a good job on that. Septic system was how much?
1,900.
1,900. All right, and then the drywall contract is a total of
3,300 for that.
3,300, and the insulation?
1,850.
Got it. Okay. And then the kitchen cabinets are going to be an additional $4,450. So added to the $37,995 that we had spent as of last week, new grand total is $43,350. 345. We're getting close to our mark.
Yep.
And we're not finished. What's up next week?
Next week will be standing finish.
That means we'll be hanging some doors, and we'll be installing some of that pine paneling I talked about earlier. But it's a wrap for today. We're out of time. Come home again next week. Till then, I'm Bob Vila.